I grew up in a quiet neighborhood in Oregon, and for most of my life, I never thought anything bad would happen there. But from 3 nights straight, something or someone started visiting my bedroom window. The first night, I thought it was just the wind. My window faced the backyard, and behind it, nothing but woods. But at around 2:45 a.m., I woke up because I heard slow tap on the glass. Not knocking, not scratching, just tapping. I froze. The tapping lasted maybe 20 seconds or then stopped. I convinced myself it was a tree branch. The second night, it happened again. Same time, same soft rhythmic tapping. But this time I noticed something else. A shadow. Tall, still. I could see the outline through the blinds. I didn't dare to move, and then the shadow leaned forward. I couldn't see his face, but I saw the shape of a hand press against the glass. I almost screamed, but forced myself to stay silent. After whatever felt like forever, the shadow pulled away and disappeared. The third night was worst. I slept with the lights on, phone in my hand. But at exactly 2:45 a.m., the tapping returned louder. I slowly researched for my blinds, thinking maybe it was an animal, maybe I was imagining things, anything to make it less terrifying. I pulled the blinds just 1 inch and froze. There was a man standing right outside my window. No expression, no movement. Just staring straight into my room. His face was pale, almost grey. His eyes didn't blink. He didn't react when I screamed. When the lights in the hallway turned on, finally stepped back. Not running, not scared. Just calmly walking backward into the woods, never breaking eye contact. Police searched the area, but they found nothing. Footprints in the fresh snow. For months, I slept with my window covered. I never saw that man again. But every night at 2:45 a.m., I still wake up on my own, like my body remembers the tapping. When I was 17, I used to babysit for a couple that lived a few streets away. They had 2 kids, aged 6 and 8. It was easy money. Feed them, put them to bed, watch TV, and go home. One night, the kids were unusually silent, and around 10 p.m., I started hearing footsteps upstairs. I thought one of the kids was out of bed, so I went up to check. Both kids were sleeping soundly. I brushed it off and returned to the living room. But the footstep continued. Slow, heavy, unmistakable. I texted their parents. They said their house sometimes settles and do not to worry. At around 11 p.m., I heard a soft click from the parents' bedroom. It sounded like a door being opened. I didn't want to go upstairs again, not alone, so I stayed on the couch and turned up the volume of TV. When the parents come home at midnight, the mom asked, "Why is the baby monitor disconnected?" I froze. I hadn't touched the monitor. She went pale and ran to their room. A minute later, she called out, "Where is the SD card?" The monitor has a small camera in the kids' room, recording everything in the house. The SD card was gone. The parents called the police. They reviewed the security camera around the exterior of the house. The footage showed something I still think about today. At 9:47 p.m., before I went upstairs, a man crawled out of their attic, stepped down into the hallway, and walked calmly into the parents' room. He stayed there until midnight, when the parents arrived. No one saw him living. No one knows how long he had been living in that attic. And the SD card from the kids' monitor was never found. The police told us he might have been watching the family for weeks. I never babysit again. During my freshman year of college, I lived in a tiny dorm room with paper-thin walls. I had a roommate named Lily. Friendly, quiet, hardly ever around. One night around 3 a.m., I woke up because Lily's bed creaked. I thought she would come back late, so I whispered, "Hey, did you just get in?" Silence. Then her bed creaked again, a little louder. I sat up and looked around. The bed was completely empty. That's when I heard it, a soft whisper coming from underneath the bed. At first, I thought it was my imagination. But then, it whispered again. This time clearer. Is she asleep? My blood ran cold. Very slowly, I reached for my phone and turned on the flashlight. I aimed the light at the floor. And that's when I saw fingers curl around the edge of the mattress. Someone was under the bed. The whisper came again, this time much closer to the floor. Don't move. I ran out of my room so fast. I almost fell down the hallway straight. Security came within minutes. But when they checked, the space under the bed was empty. The only thing they found was a small duffel bag shoved into the wall gap behind the bed. Inside the bag was a blanket, a half-eaten sandwich, a phone charger, and photos of me and Lily taken inside our room while we slept. They think someone was sneaking into our room at night through the shared bathroom door, hiding until we slept, and living before sunrise. To this day, I sleep with the lights on.